for the takeaways, to recap for everyone listening that might not know a ton about Aaron Nesmith, beat out Zion Williamson, best shooter in the draft, shot 52%, 53% from the three-point line, whatever it is. I actually have a bone to pick about this. Joining us now is sophomore guard from Vanderbilt, Aaron Nesmith. He is a 2020 draft prospect. And he also, Aaron, we got to start here. You sat out the rest of the season. You fractured your foot in January. It ended up being a season-ending injury for you. How was the foot now? How is the rehab process going? Where do we stand today, mid-September?
I'm good. I'm all good. I'm ready to go. I'm feeling great. Getting back on the floor, doing my thing, working out all the time, every day. So it's good. Everything's on track and looking great.
We'd say 100%. We'd give it a 100%. 90. Yeah. Okay. All right.
100% and 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. 100%. Right. 2 thumbs up. Yeah.
All right.
We love that. And Aaron, I have to ask about it. This is your sophomore year, like Titus mentioned, at Vanderbilt. You play 14 games. In those 14 games, you scored no less than 14 points. You lead Vanderbilt at 53% three-point shooter. And you get injured, unfortunately, in January. But you have these 14 games to look at, and they're pretty spectacular. 23 points per game. Like I said, you were scoring double figures in every single one of these games, basically. Is it good to get out on top? I know Darius Garland, who also went to Vanderbilt, he played in about 5 games and then is a top 5 pick. Is this a plan at Vanderbilt? Can you explain this to us? How does this work?
I mean, it's a little Vanderbilt curse going on.
Okay.
After I went down, we make jokes about it, but not about getting out on top. I wish I would have been able to finish the season because I definitely, without question, think I would have kept it up. 100%, like throughout the entire season. Doesn't matter who's in front of me, who I play. I know for a fact I would have been able to keep it up. So,
can you give the people a scouting report, Aaron? Because you've been called by many people, you're the best shooter in this draft. I assume you like that, but I also are you worried that that's like you're getting put into one box where all you are is just like a spot up guy and that's it? Give us the scouting report from in your own words of your kind of game.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, definitely believe best shooter in the draft, hands down.
Nice.
But yeah, like you said, I don't think that's all I can do. I think I can do other things. I think I can help the team help any team beneficially on the defensive end, with my length, my size, just the way God made me. But also on the offensive end, being just a floor spacer, just because I shoot the 3 ball so well. I move off the ball all the time, very fast. So the defense has a key on me, which allows my teammates to make easier play and easier reads. So I can also be used as a facility guy, like I said, on defense and do the little things. So I think there's a lot more aspects to my game than just being able to make the long ball. But yeah,
listen, man, if there's one thing you can do on a basketball court, if you are one dimensional, and as you said, you're not, but if you have to be one dimensional, that's a pretty good thing to be the one dimensional, like
to be typecast.
Yeah, you're like, I'm sorry, all I do is I make threes. Every time I get the ball, we score 3 points. I don't know if that's good or not, but that's what I do well. Like that's not a bad thing.
For sure. Yeah.
And Aaron, we also want to ask about you wear number 24, and I think we've seen the player comps come out. A lot of people have said you're similar to I'm a North Carolina guy, so Cameron Johnson, who came out last year, one of the best shooters in the draft. You've been compared to him. Another name that I want to throw out, Buddy Hield. You wear number 24. You're a 3-point shooter. You're 6'6". All those types of things check out. But is there a reason you wear number 24? Is there a player that you looked up to that you said I want to idle my game after that person? What was it like to make that decision? Or am I reading too much into this and no one really cares about their number? 24 doesn't matter.
No, I mean, I started wearing number 24 because of Kobe, obviously, one of the greatest players who ever played the game. But, as a kid, I picked 24 just like more as a fan. And then as I got older, it really was like, I want to keep the number 24 because of Kobe. And because I started to dive into like the mental aspect of the game and the way Kobe attacked the game. Like I started watching his show Details and, any little thing I can learn from him just because that's how like detail oriented he was. So Kobe definitely has a big influence on why I wear 24 for sure.
From your perspective, does it feel weird to you to go through a draft process during the pandemic when the combine gets canceled? The draft has now been moved twice, I believe. it's just like a weird, like when you get drafted, the turnaround, I assume, is going to be very quick. Like you're not going to have a summer league like other rookies have had to kind of to ease into it. Do you feel all of that, or are you so naive because you've never been through this process that you're like, listen, whatever, I don't know any better anyway.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. Yeah, I would say the last thing you said is pretty accurate. Like I'm still having fun with the whole process. I'm still working hard. Just because, I don't know any better. I don't know what the usual year would look like. I don't know where I'd be in a usual year. So, right now I'm just trying to work as hard as I can, make sure I'm ready. Like you said, the draft's on November 18th. It's going to be a quick turnaround regardless, even if the NBA decides to keep the Christmas Day start or not. It's going to be a quick turnaround. Like you said, no summer league. So I got to make sure my body's right. I'm in shape, and I got to make sure I'm ready to go.
From your perspective as a prospect, are you just kind of focused on your own thing, working out, getting better, whatever? And as teams approach you, you interact with them. Do you reach out to teams? Is this like an everyday thing? Are you like, I work out in the morning and then the evening I'm talking to scouts and GMs? Like how often is the communication happening?
Right now, I'm focused on one thing pretty much, and that's just like getting better as a basketball player, improving my whole game. But like from a daily standpoint, I have like an interview later in the day, usually, workouts earlier in the day. But I haven't started my NBA interviews yet. I'll start those very soon just because the draft keeps getting pushed back. Just kind of waiting for the right moment to begin with that as well.
And Aaron, I want to ask about just the fandom. You're from Charleston, South Carolina. You grew up in South Carolina, and you ended up going to Vanderbilt. But you had a great high school career in South Carolina. But there's no NBA team, obviously, in South Carolina. The Hornets are there that are close. The Hawks maybe in Atlanta. Was there a team that you kind of grew up that you were like, I'm a fan of this NBA team, or are you sort of, just playing basketball, a fan of the NBA dream more so? Because I always find that fascinating as well.
So one of the first players that I ever got introduced to within the game of basketball was Dwayne Wade. So I've been a Dwayne Wade fan my entire life, from the moment I picked up basketball. So big time Miami Heat fan growing up. I was very happy when, they got LeBron, they won the championship in 2012, 2013. So I would say that definitely the Heat was my team as a kid growing up.
It's not bad for right now. Yeah, it's working out great.
Yeah, that's not too bad at all. Speaking of like having favorite teams and all that, how much do you pay attention to mock drafts? Like where the experts, so to speak, think you might end up? Where you're listed on big boards? Just kind of all the noise that goes into a draft process. Are you aware of it? Are you hearing it? Do you read the scouting reports these guys have on you and get upset? And you're like, that's not true at all.
Because we would read all of our scouting reports.
What do you mean I can't go left? I can go left. This guy's out of his mind. Or do you just tune the noise out, or somewhere in the middle? Where do you fall in that?
I would say I'm somewhere in the middle because I don't search for the noise. I don't look for it, but my friends send it to me.
Yeah.
They also find the process pretty cool. And they all want to hear what I have to say about it. So I'm aware and I see it, but I don't look for it.
Is there something that Coach Stackhouse, Jerry Stackhouse, obviously your coach this past season, is there anything that he pointed to that said, hey, this may be something that will help you get to the next level? Or is it just, happy to have a coach like Stackhouse in the building? What was that like? Any advice he gave you?
Initially, going in, he's a big defensive minded guy. So he definitely wanted my defense to improve, and it was awesome the way he coaches us and the way he treats us from day one. From the very first minute I met him, he treated me like a professional, and that was something I loved. He told me exactly what I needed to do, and he prepared me for the next level from the first practice on. And on the defensive end, he didn't take anything for granted. He graded us on every little thing. If we were half a step out of position, that's minus a point on the big board, So it was just good to see the improvements that we made as a team and individually over the season with him as our coach.
Yeah, take me back to last summer when you were recruited to Vanderbilt by Bryce Drew. He gets fired, and Jerry Stackhouse is named the coach. First of all, the idea of your coach being fired and you have to now play for a new coach, did transferring enter your mind? And secondly, what goes through your mind when the announcement is made that Jerry Stackhouse is going to be your coach, like NBA legend? It's not some random guy who's an assistant coach at some small school that got it's Jerry Stackhouse. Oh my God, I'm going to play for Jerry Stackhouse. What was that whole transition like for you?
I mean, transfer never really crept into my mind too much, just because I wanted to see who they would bring in first, and
Yeah.
get a chance to talk to them. I wanted to give everything a chance, and I'm the type of guy, like, you make the most of any opportunity that you're given. So I'm not going to run away from something just because it was tough for the first year. But when Coach Stackhouse got the job, it was like a dream come true. It was absolutely amazing. 18-year-old NBA veteran, scoring machine, my size, my height.
Are you old enough to remember him?
No, not really. So I knew his
Yeah.
name, and I knew
Okay.
about him, but I didn't really know how good he was.
Yeah.
Until he got the job, and I did my research on him.
Oh,
Yeah, he could hoop.
I thought you were gonna say you didn't know until he got the job, and then he just sat everyone down and showed you guys film.
Yeah, he's like, watch this.
First 5 days, like, watch how good I was.
He still hopped into practice a couple times. He gave a couple dudes buckets, but he never gave me buckets.
I also, this is fascinating because Titus brought it up. Like you never were able to watch Jerry Stackhouse. I think you were born in 1999, so you were kind of like the last of an era that was born in a century before the 21st century. I mean, is it weird just in basketball circles? Because I feel like we do this at times. We keep talking about Steve Franchise or someone from Stephon Marbury, maybe guys that you haven't quite seen or your generation hasn't seen. Does it feel like you have to almost do a history lesson to be informed about basketball circles and conversations just to kind of keep up to speed?
A little bit, honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had kind of that same discussion when Last Dance came out.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like, my generation, you hear it all the time, like Michael Jordan's the best, Michael Jordan's the GOAT. But we never really got to see him play, and all we see is old clips. You see the same clips over and over. They're not very good quality. So the Last Dance was definitely pretty cool. It was kind of like a big history lesson. For like basketball players my age. So I definitely was a big fan of that. Yeah.
Don't beat yourself up over that. Terry Rozier is a few years older than you, and he still didn't know that Michael,
yeah, he was like, I don't know him.
Like, who? Michael Jordan did what? He won 3. Are you serious? Let's talk about draft day a little bit. First of all, what is your plan? Have you even thought this far in advance? Who is going to be with you? What are you going to wear? Your fashion. You're wearing a black shirt. You're kind of conservative with your fashion right now. So on draft day, is this something you put any thought into of like, do I got to go big and like, with my fashion?
I went big. I already got.
You already have it planned out?
I went big.
Okay.
Yeah, already got it. I'm excited. I love the suit. Yeah, I wanted to go big. I couldn't go nothing normal. No,
yeah,
I had to stand out a little bit. So
I love that.
I'm excited. Yeah,
that's so great. That's so good.
I feel like can we get something? Can we get like a teaser? Like is a feather involved? Like is there gold? No, we get nothing. We get nothing. All right.
No, you get nothing. You gotta wait for the date.
All right, November 18th, unless they move it back.
Yeah. We got to watch. I'm curious about this, Aaron. A lot of people are saying, certainly not us. We wouldn't dare say this. We just, we hear people say this. A lot of the haters out there, that this is one of the worst drafts in a very long time. Like the group of guys in this draft I talked to you earlier about the noise that you're hearing. This has become a theme of this draft. Is that something you care about at all? Is that like what when you hear people say those things, are you like, I don't really care, just get me to the league, I want to start my career? Is it because what's one thing that's I've found, and I'm rambling, I'm sorry, but like as more guys progress in the NBA, like there seems to be a sense of pride in the draft class you're in. Like everybody that was in the 2003 draft class won't shut up about it. They're like, we're the greatest ever, and like all that kind of stuff. So do you feel a sense of pride like amongst the other guys in the draft that like we gotta, or am I making too much of that? Is it?
No, I mean, that's one thing I don't really care about, because at the end of the day, everybody's got to go out there and play. Yeah. It matters once you're on the floor and once you get drafted, once you get to your respective cities. Yeah. I think that's the most important thing, just focusing on the right things. And that's definitely something that doesn't really need to be a focus.
Yeah. Who in this draft, I'm curious, do you have a relationship with anybody? Who other than yourself do you think is the best player? Is there someone you enjoyed watching, someone you, or no?
No, not really. I kind of I keep to myself, myself. I'm focused on me. I want to be better. Yeah. So absolutely.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Well, I'll ask you again. I mean, obviously, you said you kind of keep a tunnel vision a little bit, but you are in South Carolina. We have John Morant wins Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
We have Zion Williamson. Before that, in 2017, I think the year that you committed to Vanderbilt, you had the South Carolina team with Sindarius Thornwell and P.J. Dozier. They go to the Final Four. Frank Martin's in South Carolina. The Nuggets right now, we see Alex English everywhere talking about his South Carolina roots. Is this a moment for South Carolina basketball? Do you feel that? Do you feel the momentum? Seventh Woods, another guy to throw out there. Or am I, getting a little, as a North Carolina guy, am I a little too upset about this? Because it feels like South Carolina's having a moment.
Sure. No, yeah. There needs to be more respect put on the South Carolina Hooper's name.
Okay.
Sure. And I mean, it's a perfect example. You got Zion Williamson, not Rookie of the Year, my bad. Zion Williamson, first number 1 pick. John Morant, Rookie of the Year, number 2 pick. You got me coming out, potential first round pick. It's just all them things, and I think it's great for South Carolina basketball to be put in such a good light here in the recent years.
Yeah, you beat Zion out for Player of the Year, right? When you guys were in the same class?
for Gatorade Player of the Year, yes, sir.
Yeah. I wanted to bring that.
We just want to, make sure people know.
Yeah, there's no question. I don't have a question with that, Aaron. I just wanted to acknowledge that happened.
Yeah, you just want to slip it in there just for a little bit.
If you weren't going to go to the NBA and have a long career as a basketball player, and sports was off the table, what would you find yourself doing if you wake up in 10 years? What is Aaron Nesmith doing?
I don't know. I had no plan B.
So why then here's my question, Aaron. Why you're academic, you go to Vanderbilt, great academic school. You're like all academic SEC, I'm sorry. What's the point of that? Like, why not go to the Cardale Jones? I'm not here to play school route. I'm here to
obviously, since my brother goes to Harvard and I went to Vanderbilt, my parents are huge academics, so I definitely I understand the importance of academics. I understand the importance of having a degree in life and all of those good things and all that. But the dream is to play basketball, and it's always been to play basketball. So that's what I want to do. And so I'm also the type of guy that believes if you don't put all your eggs into basket A and you put some in a basket B, then you're not putting all that you have into plan A. So that's just the way I approach things.
Is where you're drafted, does that ultimately matter to you? Or is it just like if I say you're drafted 11th versus like 16th, is that something you're going to stew on? Is that something that's super important to you?
Is it a Draymond situation where you're going to list all the people drafted before you?
Yeah. Or is it just like, I just want to get to the league and get going, and wherever I end up is where I'm meant to be?
Pretty much. I want to go to the right fit more than anything. I want to go to a team that wants to develop me and has a plan for me in the future.
Yeah. Well, Aaron, we appreciate you joining us. You are the best shooter in the draft. We have to make that. You beat Zion Williamson. Now, just for the takeaways, to recap for everyone listening that might not know a ton about Aaron Nesmith, beat out Zion Williamson, best shooter in the draft, shot 52%, 53% from the three-point line, whatever it is. I actually have a bone to pick about this. I have a theory, Aaron, and you could stop me. I think you are too good of a three-point shooter. You should be shooting more. I have made this argument with Tate many times that it's actually selfish to shoot 52% from the three-point line because you're not shooting enough. You should be shooting more until your percentage starts going down. Like every time you touch the ball, because you should have like the ultimate green light, right? Like if you hit 52%, you should be like, I can keep shooting until I'm like down to 40-something%, right?
I mean, just taking good shots.
I know, but take more.
I would say even if I took more shots, the percentage is staying the same, man.
Okay, there you go.
We didn't even ask you. I forgot to ask you about the gym you play in, the Vanderbilt gym. Is it as weird I've never been? Is it as weird as it looks on TV? Like when you go on a visit there, do you feel like you have a home court advantage? What are your thoughts on playing in? What is it, Memorial Gymnasium?
It's Memorial, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's if it's your first time there, it is weird. So there is a home court advantage for teams and players who have not played there before. But for me, it's not really any different.
Yeah.
And I got used to it because we played so many home games in the beginning of my freshman year that when we first went on the road, it felt weird to sit on the sidelines again.
Oh yeah. So when John Calipari always loses at Kentucky, when Kentucky goes to Vanderbilt, and it feels like they always lose there because he's sitting on the baseline. He's trying to yell at his guys, and they can't hear him. And then he just kind of shrugs his shoulders. He's like, "These damn freshmen can't hear me," and all that. Do you think he has do you think that's a valid excuse? Do you think
It's a valid excuse.
That's a valid excuse.
It's about because the coaching box is different too. So
yeah,
like it's harder for them to reach the players on the opposite side of the floor.
yeah,
So when your offense is on the opposite side of the floor, it's a green light.
yeah. right. Aaron, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck with the draft, man. We're gonna follow your career and be huge fans of yours, and we hope it all works out well for you. You certainly have.
You've won us over. Yeah.
On
your 25-minute Zoom, we would draft you.
Yeah,
so.
and also great teaser.
It.
Everybody watch the draft. See what Aaron's gonna wear.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You
we're
need to
excited to
see
see
it.
that. All right, thanks, man. Take care.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you very much. You guys have a good one.
For the best access, perspective, and personalities in all of sports, follow us at Fox Sports on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.